And welcome, guys and girls. My name is Paul K. This is Saturday Mornings Outdoors. What I'm doing today is one of my favorite things to do. I don't do it often, but when I need to, I do. I'm going to be pouring some bank sinkers with my own lead and my own hot pot and so forth. And I'm going to show you the procedure. It's really fun, but there's a caveat to it, and you have to be really safe. Stay tuned and I'm going to tell you all about it. So what the object I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pouring some bank sinkers, fishing at the canal. So about once every 2 or 3 years I like to re-pour stuff and get some new sinkers out. The name of the game with this stuff is once you get the very small initial investment of the equipment, it'll last the rest of your life, and it's really fun and enjoying, but safety is of key importance. You have to really be safe. This is molten metal, so there's no one screw up and this will burn you right to the bone. So you have to dress properly and follow the proper procedures, and it's also lead. Inhaling these fumes is not a good idea. It smells sweet. It's actually, to be very honest with you, kind of enticing the smell, but you don't want to smell that. It's freaking lead, so very poisonous. So generally I do this outdoors, but I have it set up in my attic today. I've done it up here before with no problems. The key is I have a fan in one window and a fan in the other. That fan there is pushing the wind this way, and the one on the other end of my attic is sucking it out. So I have a great ventilation, and I've done it up here, no problems. The paraphernalia and what is used in this. I got the hot pot cooking there. This is called the hot pot, and this gets up to melting lead temperature. You can actually do it in a skillet on your stove, but I wouldn't recommend it. I also have larger production pots, but I like using this because it's very you can control it very good. A set of molds, every kind of mold you can think of. Today I'm going to be pouring bank sinkers, and in this one particular mold I got 5, 4, 3, and 2. And I'm going to be pouring 5s because that's what I want to be pouring. And a company called, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but it's called You Do It Molds. You Do It Molds is by far the absolute #1 mold maker in this country anyway, and they make the best molds and been doing it forever. It's really every kind of mold. Look at that's only one box. I have 2 boxes. Every time I go to a gun show or a fishing show, someone's selling their molds, and I'll buy every one of them as long as I don't have too many doubles or whatever. It's addictive. It's very cool. You can make toy soldiers, lead soldiers. How cool is that? Antique looking, and it's just every kind of mold. It's an addictive, fun kind of thing. When you see the process and the products that come out, you'll be very impressed. So mold, hot pot. I got a pair of cutters for trimming at the end, pair of pliers because you never know when you might need them, and this old beater spoon. You need that. I'll explain to you about the process, but you need that to pull off the dross on top. And absolutely a pair of welder's glove or heavy leather gloves. And dressing properly, you need a pair of pants. Like I said, once I had shorts on this morning. This is early September, and no way I'm going to pull this off. One drop of that will burn you really, really bad. So it's as safe as you are. It's fun and enjoyable, but you have to be safe and follow the precautions. Like I say, it's molten metal, so just got to be careful. And that's pretty much it. There's other things you might have to use, but this is pretty much it for the pouring process. Now, procuring lead, you can go to a junkyard and ask them if they have it, or a lot of gun shows have. This is bars that I have that I use. I see them, and you can go to auto shops, and they have the lead off of wheel weights, and they'll have tons of those, and a lot of times they'll give them to you for free, but that is not lead. That's called antimony, and for certain things you might not want to use that, but for making sinkers it's no problem at all. It's a more denser, it comes out more dense with antimony, but there's certain, it's not as malleable as lead is, but for sinkers you kind of just use them as weight anyway. It's not a problem. If you're casting shot or bullets or something that you need it to be malleable, lead is what you want. And it's not hard to get. You'll see them around. I'm sure you've seen bars of them around at flea markets and stuff. A lot of times you can pick them up for a song way less than what they're really worth. So this is the paraphernalia, and so now I've already put this into the pot and it's already melted. Let me get that shadow out of there. And as you can see, that's liquid. It's liquid metal. So let me just set this down and get my gloves on. And as you can see, as it's building up heat, it takes a little while for it to get going. Hang on, I want to be safe here. It's starting to melt this. I technically should have cut these lead bars, just saving a little time. If you pay attention, it's as safe as you are. So you can see it's starting to fill up. The lead is melting and my hot pot's actually working like it should. Once again, safety, safety, safety. It's not that dangerous, but it is if you're stupid. So just be careful. So when you first melt any of the antimony or lead, get your spoon and you want to, stuff's on top. This is pretty clean lead. There's really not that much junk on there, but that's called slag. Let's see if I can, you want to pull this off. That's pretty much like the impurities that's in the metal, and it floats to the top, and that's called slag or dross. Just get that out of the way. And now we're pretty much ready for our first pour. Now usually the first pour, this mold's going to get hot, right? But you won't get good weights. Anytime you screw up any pouring and any kind of imperfections in it, you just throw it back in the pot, it'll remelt it. And just be very careful with this. And I'll do my first pour. So I want fives, which is this last one. So, and this is going to get really hot, so, but you'd be surprised how quick it goes. Great. Like I say, you got to get the hang of it at first. Once again, do it in an area. This is just wood here. It's not a problem. And that'll set, but basically you want the mold to get warmed up. This is where your pliers come in. Hang on. So the first couple of pours, what's going to happen is it's not going to come out well because this mold has to be heated up. But once it gets heated up, I just did a pour, and out they come. They start popping out. And this one's a mess because I haven't got the hang of it that well yet, but there it is. That's my first one. See how cool that is? All this extra stuff that little tiny spills that you get acclimated to, just get it out of there, back in the pot. Good pour. It only takes a few seconds for it to set. That's what's kind of fun about it. It just takes a few seconds. That's ready. And there it is, a perfect weight. Just pull that out. Look at that, brand new, shiny, and of course they got to be trimmed. And then now you just produce. Just keep rolling. Try to keep a steady flow, because if you don't go steady with it, it's gonna clump up and it won't come out good. Like you'll have to report, but that's not a problem because you just throw it back in. See, that chunk, that's useless. Throw it back in, it'll remelt. Don't touch hot. Don't take too long to cool, but it's amazing how quickly it solidifies too. That always blew my mind, you know. Slag back in. Pop that out. Woohoo! So after you get a few made, that's what these cutters are for. Just kind of, see, at this heat, they're soft. The lead is relatively, you know, pretty soft. So you just cut off this excess, throw it right back in the pot, and freaking beautiful weight. So I'm loading it back up. I'm kind of lazy. I should have just cut these bars, but it's all right. If you're just careful, you can just do it this way. It'll take a few minutes for it to suck down. Once this gets heated up, it's pretty fast. You know, you can really roll right along. Now I have these larger production pots, about like that big, that hold a ton of this lead, and you can just pour a ton of whatever you want to pour in a really quick time. You know, it's just fun. It really is fun. It's very satisfying, you know. I don't know what they get. Probably for a 5-ounce weight now, they got to be $1.50, $2, or probably $1.50 at Walmart, the cheapest price. So, pretty cool. You can see that it's melting and that's starting to fill up. This is going to get hot, that bar. That's hence the gloves. But see how quick that goes? Once this reaches temperature, it goes right down. See that? Now it just melts right in there. And same with this. Once that's heated up, you can just roll, you know. It's fun. It's really enjoyable. It's satisfying too, because you made them. And there's so many different kind of molds. It's just incredible. Anything that's made out of lead, you can do it. You can use it. And to be honest with you, a little insider tip is, how shall I say this? I don't know. They're claiming lead's really bad for the environment or whatever, but if you buy the molds now, you'll always have your own supply for whatever you want to use it for. So that's my little bit of real world wisdom. Now everything's really hot and rolling along, and this is production. So these are some really ancient sinkers that I'm melting down. You'll see the process. And repouring these. They're just the wrong weights, that's all. But some of them are pretty old. That is hot stuff. One or two more. Try that. And once it gets up to heat, it melts them pretty quick. You know, once it gets rolling. try to get smooth with the pours. If non-stop and smooth, takes a little bit of practice, but to centerize it and just try to continuous flow, just like that. And then you'll have the best sinkers. That's just impurities. So once again, these are called sprues. You just get up in there and cut it. That's in the good pile, and throw that sprue back in the pot. And remember, these are hot, so cut the sprue back in the pot where you can serve and everything. Getting down just about to the end where I want to go with it. I got a good stack of they're hot stuff coming through. So we're getting down to the bottom, and what I would like to tell you, this guy ain't cooperating. So now we're getting, got a good stack of weights. Now I want to say, just cleaning up afterwards, this little amount that's left, while it's still hot, get that crap out of there. You can try to pour this, and I can even make a full sinker, but it might, I don't know. No, not even. It'll be partly. But while it's hot, get that junk out of there. Get a place where you can really hit that. And then just clean that up. Because once this cools, it's written in stone, literally. It's not that bad, though. Clean that up. Give it a tap on a good area. And that's it. Let everything cool down. And get out of the way. So generally I cleaned everything all up, and what I like to do at the very end is I take my fives. I got a piece of stiff wire here, and I like to just put them on the wire and then close this together. So now I know all that is 5-ounce weights, right? And I don't have to sort through. I have so many different kinds of weights and other weights. You know, I have 3s and so forth. So when I want whatever size I want, I just go and grab the batch, and that's it, and I'm good to go. And there you have it. These are beautiful, brand new weights. You can have them for nominal prices, way less than what you'd pay in the store. And I just like the process. Like I say, it depends upon the mold, what you got, what type of mold you have. You can buy. There are so many different molds that you can buy, and it's just a lot of fun. And some guys pour their own shot, their own bullets. You know, I mean, it's limitless to whatever. Just look online at what molds are there. So anyway, that's the whole process. I hope you got something out of that. And it's a lot of fun, easy to do, safe, as long as you're safe. and it's just satisfying, and it's part of fishing. So my name is Paul K. This has been Saturday Mornings Outdoors, and please like and subscribe, and thanks so much for coming along, guys, and I hope you get a little out of that and see how easy pouring your own weights is. We'll see you next time. Bye. Just look at them bad boys, brand spanking new shiny number 5s, 5 ounces. Let's go fishing.